Violence erupted in the Kansas Territory in the middle of the decade, a foreshock to the Civil War. Bleeding Kansas violently demonstrated the escalating North-South tensions. That violence was an outbreak of conflict that emerged in the passage to Kansas and Nebraska Act, which had organized the territories in the former Louisiana Purchase. After the passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, free soldiers, abolitionists, and slavery proponents all streamed into Kansas to battle over the state's slave-holding ability and, of course, in question of freedom and sovereignty. The collateral damage is never small. Under the principle of popular sovereignty, the idea that people could decide for themselves whether or not to have slavery, the problem was the doctor in the popular sovereignty didn't tell you when you could decide for yourself. So in order to decide the fate of the outcome of any referenda forces who had an interest in slavery issues began to rush to settle the territory, and there was a government set up who was pro-slavery in Lecompton and an anti-slavery government set up in Topeka. This was now a standoff, as you can see, and this standoff escalated into violence. Men like John Brown emerged. He was an abolitionist who had been living in Ohio who followed his sons out to the territory and fought a kind of war with the pro-slavery forces. John Brown and his sons murdered 5 pro-slavery settlers.